What's up, Coordination? How you doing? This is the third episode in a three-part series that we are doing about Cypherpunk, Solarpunk, Lunarpunk, and Terrapunk. Which one of these things is Web3? Which one of these things is Ethereum? Which one of these things are other blockchain networks? Are the networks that we're building and the world they're going to create a more Solarpunk world? Is it a more Lunarpunk world? Is it a more Terrapunk world? Is it a more Cypherpunk world? This episode, I'm about to show you a talk that I gave at Devcon this year, which basically tries to summarize all of the different types of punk that Web3 is, and try to create a pluralism of different punk styles. So basically, I think that Ethereum is Solarpunk, Ethereum is Cypherpunk, Ethereum is Lunarpunk, Ethereum is Terrapunk. Ethereum is a mirror that allows us to project our values upon it and build systems that reflect our values. And so trying to integrate a few of these methodologies in the DevCon talk. And this is the end of a three-part series in which we are talking about the different types of punk that Ethereum is. So I think that this talk that I gave at DevCon is kind of the perfect capstone to the series that we've done on Solarpunk, Lunarpunk, Cypherpunk, and Terrapunk, and I think that you'll enjoy it. So without further ado, I'll give you my DevCon talk from this year, 2022, Ethereum is Punk. Enjoy.
The title of my talk is Ethereum is Punk, and I think the first category of punk that Ethereum is cypherpunk. So basically, a cypherpunk is anyone who is advocating for strong privacy and cryptography, and especially sovereignty in their digital systems. And this serves as a route to social and political change, decentralizing power into the hands of the individual. Ethereum is cypherpunk, and if you want to know about the roots of the cypherpunk movement, you can read the Cypherpunk Manifesto, which is a canonical piece of text from Eric Hughes. It's really very prescient, considering it was written in the 90s. The second category of punk that I think is really interesting and has only really developed over the last couple years is this idea that Ethereum is solarpunk. So, Solarpunk, I think, is our alternative to doomerism. In a world with rising coordination failures like climate change, rising autocracy, misinformation, breakdown of the international order, we now have a transparent, immutable, programmable, and global structure for coordinating. We just need that key that unlocks the ability to build new institutions, humanity coordinating at web scale, and that is how Ethereum becomes Solarpunk. So if we want to make Ethereum good for the world, first we have to do no harm. And I'm really proud of the merge and the fact that the network is nearly carbon neutral. I think we have a little bit of work to do to get rid of the scams on the network. But from there, we can use this programmable substrate to build better coordination hyperstructures that can do things like track carbon credits and start to solve climate change, but also can track impact on any other vector. So Ethereum is a coordination substrate that it gives us the ability to coordinate at web scale. And a lot of these problems can be framed as coordination failures. I also recommend that you read the Solarpunk Manifesto. This one's not nearly as influential as the Cypherpunk Manifesto, but there's a few different Solarpunk manifestos. Basically, Solarpunk is a movement in speculative fiction that imagines what the world would look like if we solved our contemporary problems around sustainability and coordination failure. So Solarpunk is an art movement that envisions how the humanity might look if we've succeeded in solving our major contemporary problems with coordination, with an emphasis on sustainability and things like climate change. Cypherpunk is the value system of sovereignty and privacy. And there's a blending of the two that has really been developing a lot over the last couple years. So Ethereum is punk, Ethereum is Solarpunk, Ethereum is Cypherpunk, and since these things are not mutually exclusive, Ethereum is also Lunarpunk. So Lunarpunk is regarded as the sibling aesthetic of the Solarpunk aesthetic, has more universal properties such as like witchcraft, futuristic design, nature, renewable energy, and you can kind of think of like it being Solarpunk with an emphasis on sovereignty and privacy, or Cypherpunk but with an emphasis on solving coordination failures, a middle ground between the two. Ethereum is Lunarpunk. And I would really encourage you, if you're looking for a canonical piece on Lunarpunk, to check out this video, Lunarpunk and the Dark Side of the Cycle, that went viral about a month ago. I think that Lunarpunk is good because it's solving coordination failures and it's blending our Cypherpunk values and our Lunarpunk values. There's another interesting alt of Punk that I think that many in the room haven't heard of. I only know about it because I get tagged in every Twitter conversation about this stuff. And it's called Terrapunk. So basically the idea behind Terrapunk is taking Solarpunk and looking at the art and realizing that there's not a lot of humans in it. And basically, if you look at Solarpunk and you assume that we're going to solve our contemporary problems with coordination with it, then you're going to, then are we going to do that in an accelerationist way where humanity continues to scale along with our economies, or are we going to do it in a way that assumes that 90% of humans aren't there? And so I don't necessarily agree with this interpretation of Solarpunk, but I do think that Terrapunk as a way of expressing Solarpunk, but with a more like high growth, high human way of doing Solarpunk is kind of interesting. I think that what I get from all of these different variants of Punk and what I get back from the tweets that I sent out is that Ethereum is a mirror, and what we build on Ethereum is an expression of the programming capabilities of Ethereum, but also the mirror of their values looking back at us through these systems. So Ethereum is all of these things. Ethereum is a coordination technology, and it's all coordination. All of our human systems and meeting our shared needs involve the coordination between people in these systems. Ethereum is a Schelling point for the hopeful, a transparent, immutable, programmable global substrate for finance and coordination. And since we can program our values into our money, Ethereum is going to be a Schelling point for people who are creating new coordination systems. Using Web3, we can build new coordination mechanisms that leverage collective intelligence to solve some of humanity's most pressing coordination problems. Through my work at Gitcoin, which leverages quadratic funding, we have become an aqueduct for funding within the space, and we do $3 million worth of funding to the communities in the Web3 ecosystem using the magic coordination technology that is Ethereum, and also the quadratic funding mechanism that distributes value to communities. So far, Gitcoin has delivered $69 million worth of funding to our digital public goods. This graph is an expression of the community's preferences for what they're funding. So every edge in the network is a transaction, and every node is a grant or a user. And this is a mesh network of the preferences of the Ethereum community and which public goods they care about. So we're building coordination technologies to fund the public goods that we care about. Our vision at Gitcoin is to hopefully take ourselves to the quadratic lands, a place where we've rewritten the laws of economic gravity to support public goods and prevent coordination failures, and to do it in a privacy-preserving way. Ethereum is a mirror that reflects back to us our values, and this is our vision of where we want to go. You can kind of think of how much we're able to realize our values as a heuristic function in a fitness landscape, and we're executing the search space asynchronously and all together of finding the global maxima of how much we can realize our collective value realization using collective intelligence to allocate our commons resources. We were building hyperstructures, institutions in the ether that are able to meet our shared needs and are deployed on smart contract technology. And the sum of all of the hyperstructures out there they form a meta hyperstructure, which is a set of hyperstructures that all interoperate with each other in a modular way and help us to realize our shared values. So what I'm saying is Ethereum is Cypherpunk, Ethereum is Solarpunk, Ethereum is Lunarpunk, Ethereum is also Terrapunk. We are the ones who we've been waiting for, regardless of whether of these visions you believe in. So let's coordinate and let's build the world that we want. Thank you.